Hi there, Freedom One, continuing this series of spiritual house cleaning. And I want to say in the process of spiritual house cleaning, I've done all these series so much. So let me just do a recap of all the precepts in the videos that I've done thus far. So the enemy can access or oppress us through our sin. We also have the sins of the forefather. We also have curses, which include self-imposed or inner vows. We also have negative beliefs, confessions, thoughts that are opposed to the Word of God. We also have soul ties. We also have wounds and trauma. And I've walked you through much understanding on how to break cycles of wrong thought processes and through empowering prayers to cut off curses or ties that pin doors open. But the final frontier is removing the invader. In Luke 4:18, Jesus declares, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set free those who are oppressed, to proclaim the favorable year of the Lord." Let me point out what is so very important that Jesus is declaring. He's proclaiming release. And the time of release is now. Then he speaks of sight to the blind, that is to heal. Set free the oppressed, that is deliverance. Proclaim the year favorable unto the Lord. Again, he says the time is now. In between, the time is now, is to heal and to deliver. Jesus, the spiritual king of the spiritual kingdom of heaven, but all the people could see was oppression in the kingdoms of man. They wanted oppression lifted from the Romans or whoever other groups. So up until the time of Jesus, the law, the temple, everything there, that was the only way to keep clean from these spiritual invaders. But through his ultimate sacrifice and example, he has given us everything we need to overcome. Nothing has changed in this book, but that he has lifted us up with him in authority and power and freedom if we so choose. Deliverance is no different today than it was back then. The problem today is that much of this has been added to or taken away at the user's whim. Bad fruit, physical ailments, torments, you name it. It's all ignored as opposition to abundant life that we are promised. Instead of focusing on healing and deliverance, drugs are pushed. Psychotherapy is pushed. The purpose of ministering deliverance is to set free those who are in bondage. Whether spiritual or physical, he healed them all. So why should we live life expecting any less? We are to preach the gospel, to heal the sick, and to deliver the oppressed, or we are not following what Jesus has mandated for us. What does the oppression that cries out for the need of deliverance look like? Have we become brainwashed by Hollywood? Oppression is not an issue of being totally overrun by the demonic. I've heard this before, that our bodies are made up of 98% water, that these vessels make the perfect home for usurpers of the glory of God. The enemy cannot get that from God anymore. Gets it through leeching off of us. In Luke 11:24, it says, "When the unclean spirit goes out of a man, it passes through waterless places seeking rest." Now, Derek Prince has said, demons continually seek to invade a person. But when the person is healthy spiritually, the spiritual immune system within the person identifies and attacks the demons, and they are not able to move in and take control. So any kind of unhealthiness or emotional weakness, on the list earlier, trauma, anytime there's a vulnerability, that opens a person up to a demonic attack. So it's important to seek out those areas in our life where there's not abundant life, where the scriptures are not upheld through our good witness. We need to discern what is holding us back. Is it our flesh that needs crucified? Or do we have an invader that needs cast out and the door healed and sealed by Jesus Christ? Think about it. If you were the enemy and you didn't want to leave your house, wouldn't you infiltrate the church, blind the people, discredit everything, anything that might get you evicted? And so the church normalizes oppression as something to expect in life. But let's face it, the church at large does not want to deal with deliverance because of the lies that have been believed. Deliverance to the church is like potty talk. But I'm sorry, we all poop. Do we not all sin and fall short of the glory of God? Didn't even Peter get a rebuke for aligning with the enemy? You've got to get it in your head that enemy access is a normal thing we struggle with in life. This isn't strange. This isn't new. We need to quit running away from deliverance. As Jesus was speaking to the disciples at Passover, at that Last Supper, he declared, "I will not speak much more with you, for the ruler of the world is coming, and he has nothing in me." Does the enemy have anything in you? Question everything alongside of the Word of God and get ready, because the next videos in this series will begin to expose the invaders. I will walk you through self-deliverance with encouragement that you can do this with others as well, because His commission is your commission.